Now that the truck is up on the lift, we can start working on some of those improvements we were talking about. The first of which is right here. This stock tie rod assembly right here, that's going to get replaced with this. This is much bigger from the guys at Rare Parts. Take a look at that. This is going to be, actually it's going to go in this way, but that's going to be a lot better, man. Take a look at that. I know what you're thinking. A tie rod assembly. Why are you even bothering doing that? Well, there's a couple of reasons we are.
It all goes back to what we mentioned a little earlier, the fact that this truck needs to be going down the road to make money. And if you're ever driving, doing any hauling or just city driving up in the north, you notice one big thing. There's an epidemic with potholes. They are everywhere and they're destroying cars. Not only tearing up front tires, they're tearing up front wheels. When you got a big truck like this, pulling a heavy load, first thing that's going to want to give when you hit a pothole heavy is this tie rod right there. Because it's so small, it's a 1/2 inch, where this one is 1 1 1/32, so it's going to give it much more strength. It's going to handle any kind of hard jolt to it because it's so much bigger.
Excuse me. All right, that's out.
Cool.
Now, let's talk about when you hit that big bump, even if it doesn't shatter the entire system or break it, right? You could still bend it up pretty good, and that's going to affect your alignment. And like you said, if it's on the side of the road, it's not working, it's going to cost you money. Well, it's also going to cost you a lot of money if you have to keep replacing tires all the time because your alignment's out of whack. So that's another reason that we're doing this. Now, one of the most important things when you're doing this, before you take out the stock configuration, is to make sure that it's at the same length so your alignment is good enough just to get it to the alignment shop. And this is a little handy thing that's going to help us do that.
Yeah, we made up, you can use a tape measure. There's a couple different ways you can do it, but you want to make sure that your old length is the same as the new one when you put it on. This way that you can drive it to the alignment shop without tearing up a set of tires. So what we've done is you just want to measure 2 fixed points. So we chose that these grease fittings. We put a little notch on the one side, and that's going to go up against the grease fitting there, and we ended it at the center of the other grease fitting. This way we know we can set the new one at the same length, and it'll get to the alignment shop in one piece.
Everything about this new heavy-duty tie rod assembly from Rare Parts is bigger and better. You take a look at it. Obviously, this is the new one. That's the one we took out. So the rod, much bigger, much thicker. Then you look at the bolts. They're bigger. The ball sockets are much bigger, so it's much more heavy-duty. And what this is going to do is give you a larger greasable wear area, and that is good.
Another thing it's going to do is going to give you better articulation. Let's say you're using your truck to have some fun and play in the mud versus towing. Well, it means you're probably going to have a bigger tire and a lift kit on, which means you're going to have bigger problems because that big tire on the outside is going to put a lot more wear and a lot more stress on this tie rod. It's going to be a lot more prone for breakage. So, big tire, big hole.
A big problem.
Yeah. Also, it's got a nice powder-coated finish, so it'll last and stand up to the environment as well.
And it was nice and easy. It only took a couple of minutes to do. So what we need to do is get the other side done. Then we need to go to break. When we come back, we're going to start increasing the storage on our hot shot hauler.
Yep.
All right, let's get this other side.
Yeah, this should be